Hey everybody. So, what have I been up to in 2025 in regards to boards? Well, when I started redesigning the G Pro range to fit what I needed for 2026, the big obvious thing was parowinging. Parowing had just started, and I needed a board with which I could parawing with in light winds and also in strong winds. I wanted to use smaller foils, but I also wanted a board with which I could still wing with, also wing racing, and that would still work really good in the waves. Also, not only for winging or parawinging, but as a stand-up paddle foil board for flat water paddle ups and for waves. So, when I was done combining everything I wanted, I ended up with the G Pro 96 liter. So, let's have a look at it, and I'll explain a few things. Here is my new perfect all-round baby that fulfills essentially all my wishes on the water. It's 96 liters, which is good for me. I weigh about 87 kilos now, so it's the perfect volume for me. It's 5'8" long and 22 inches at its widest point. I kept the outline fairly straight now. It still teardrops a little bit towards the back, but I've kept the back a little bit wider. I did this so that I would have a little bit more surface area on the tail to pick up a bit more speed during displacement, so I could pump up a little bit smaller foils. This is quite useful, especially for parawinging and for wing foil racing with smaller foils, where board speed and a good release are super important. The deck is recessed. The front foot position is still slightly higher than the back foot position. This gives you really nice driving feedback on the front foot in carves, or also when you are really pumping to get onto the foil. The outline is still rounded and teardropped enough so that when you go into carves, you do not catch either the rail in the front or on the back. The new nose shape has this nice bevel starting with quite a lot of angle in the nose, which tapers off to a normal tucked under rail near the front feet. This does a few things. First off, when your nose pearls in, it will release a bit quicker as you come back off the water, your wetted surface area is reduced. It also, when you're doing hard cars, when the nose is close to the wave face, you have that angled area to keep it from touching the wave face and getting stuck. Now, the reason I didn't pull the bevel all the way to the back is a performance thing. I like having sharp rails on the tail. Sharp rails on the tail give you a quick release, and they also give you sideways grip. Sideways grip for me is quite important, especially here in Fuerteventura. It's quite choppy, especially when we have those downwind conditions. And what I don't want is a board that doesn't track a little bit more straight. I need that tracking to get speed, to get up on the foil. There's a lot of chop coming in from the side, and if the board is too round, especially in the tail area, you tend to sort of pivot around the foil a lot, and I really didn't want that on this board. As with all Indiana boards, it comes with the croc skin pad. I really like the croc skins. They're not too grippy, they're not too slippery, they're perfectly in between, where you have more than enough grip when you're pushing the board hard, but you still have the ability to move your feet around when you are sort of shifting weight, when you're pumping and so on. I tend to spend a lot of time out of the back foot strap when I'm surfing, or when I'm sort of, especially stand-up flat water paddle ups, I keep my back foot in front of the strap. So I really like that grip here, but I want to be able to move around a lot. As with all the Indiana boards, you have the automatic Gore-Tex valve, so you never have to worry about the board inflating when it's too hot and delaminating. I'm really happy with the new graphics. As an old racer, I really like that sort of NASCAR racing style. That's why we went with the pinstripe with the shading and that cool retro number look. We have 32 centimeter Leotech tracks, and unlike this prototype, we will actually have the new tracks that are compatible with the new Bone T system, which will make mounting a lot faster. There will be another video on that on our channel. I will put the link below in the description. We have the low profile carry handle. This one doesn't have a massive cavity in the bottom and has a very sharp release. This maximizes performance as it minimizes drag. The hull is almost completely flat. It's flat almost all the way to the front, and in the front there is a tiny little bit of a V in the hull to help push the water apart when you're displacing and pumping. It also makes it a little bit less sticky when you touch down. The volume distribution on this board is actually quite even. The maximum volume is slightly forward, essentially from here to here is your max volume area, but there's still quite a lot of volume in the back. There's this little hump here which gives you volume in the tail, which helps keep the board afloat even in the lightest of winds. All the G Pro boards come with the new 2026 Indiana V-straps. They are super lightweight and super comfortable. So that's the story behind my 96 liter G Pro board for 2026. So if you're interested in more information, come check it out on our website or send me a DM on Instagram, and I'm happy to explain anything you need on this board. See you on the water.